What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 8, episode 12. So let's get into it. So y'all already know. So before we get into it, we go get a little spicy, just a little bit. And I have one announcement and one spicy topic for you. So the announcement, it looks like Real Housewives of Potomac will not be back for episode 13 until February the 18th. If you don't know, the Super Bowl is taking place on February the 10th. So everybody gonna be watching that. Honestly, I'm just watching for the halftime show to see Usher. That's it, okay? I found out that man is on the Beyonce diet, meaning all he is eating is celery, air, and water, okay? He about to mess that. Oh, he about to tear that stage up. That's the only reason why I want to watch the Super Bowl. But honestly, I'm not gonna watch it until I get to that, until halftime. I don't care who wins. Don't care. Okay, I probably would have cared if the Ravens were there and that other team, mainly because I think I found out that the Ravens haven't been to the Super Bowl in like decades. So I think that would be interesting. But this is what we had 4 years ago, and I don't care. Do not care. So the spicy topic I want to talk to you guys about is congratulations are in order to Candace Dillard Bassett. Her case with Michael got dismissed over the weekend. So this is what David Quinn, and we all know who David Quinn, you know, he works specifically with people, and he wrote that Housewives Tell-All book that he interviewed a lot of the housewives. So it says this. It says Michael Darby's $2 million defamation against Candace Dillard Bassett has been dismissed. People can exclusively report. The hashtag RHOP star thanks her legal team for helping the plaintiff to get exactly what he deserves from me. Absolutely nothing. So I'll link the article below if you would like to read it for yourself. So for me, I figured that this was what was going to happen, mainly because defamation lawsuits are so hard to prove, because you have to prove that that person suffered monetary, like a monetary deficit or a blow monetarily. And it's like, for Michael to try to say that his businesses were solely hurt by what Candace said is stupid. When, sir, if you were going to sue people, why didn't you sue TMZ when they posted that picture of you in your underwear with that lady in that hotel room down at the MGM casino? Why didn't you come after Robin, Giselle, Karen, Monique? Who else? Mia, because everyone has like slick things to say about Michael. So it's like, for him to just hone in on Candace is wild to me. And it's like, he wants to humble her so bad. And it's like, what specifically about her really grinds your gears, Michael? Because for you to spend time doing this, I think it's stupid. And I think he thought that this would scare her. But I'm like, this probably would make, if I was Candace, this would make me talk so much more, you know what, about you. Mainly because it's like, bro, I'm not the only one. And to prove that she tarnished your reputation was going to be so difficult when people have been talking about how much of a weirdo Michael is since season 1 of Potomac, and we're on season 8. It's your fault, sir. Then there's video of you touching people without their consent. Your fault again. So I'm glad they dismissed the case. Now, what I will say is, y'all, I need Candace to get off this show, because the fact that she was out here hanging out with the girls during Grammy weekend, she posting pictures of her with Victoria Monet, 3-time Grammy winner Victoria Monet. Then she's hanging out with Quinta Brunson and Coco Jones. You rubbing elbows with the peoples, like the girls that got talent, that got substance, that are in Hollywood doing it. Girl, leave Potomac. Leave this show. I honestly feel like this show is holding Candace back, because I feel like if she let it go, oh, girl, you be soaring. Okay, the star would rise. But that's just my thoughts. So let's get into this review. Right, y'all. So the episode opens up with the light skin coalition. Let me stop. But we got Giselle, Robin, Ashley, and Mia meeting up at the a fabric store. And we know Giselle and Ashley are, they're doing a line together. I'm sensing a bit of like She by Sheree with Giselle and Ashley because I went to their website again to see if they updated it, to see if there was any new material up there. And no, it's still the same, like a $25 cap, a $42 hoodie, a $45 skull cap, and then they got socks and t-shirts. And I'm like, but the whole storyline right now is y'all are designing leggings. And I don't think leggings are that hard to design in the sense of like colors, like I can't sew, so I'm not gonna say it's not hard to make them like per se, but it's just like if y'all are just making like picking the colors, why don't you have anything out now, especially with us watching the show now? There's definitely a lot of people who would rush to buy Giselle and Ashley's leggings, and I'm like, why don't y'all have legging sets? Like I don't know, I feel like this is just a storyline they cooked up because they neither one of them have anything for us. Because I was just like, why don't y'all have anything? I don't know, that bothers me. But while they're at the fabric store, Ashley tells Mia, girl, Karen was upset with you, about you not coming to Surrey County. And I actually agree with Mia. Girl, you had a set group of people you wanted to invite. You should have stuck with those people, even though Giselle wasn't there. I don't feel like I should be like second pick. I don't play second fiddle to nobody. And that's the thing. Nobody wants to feel like an afterthought. So if she didn't want to go, she didn't want to go. They then bring up about Eddie's, Happy Eddie party and how everybody was invited. And they were actually surprised that Wendy put NECA's name in actually invited NECA. And they show like a confessional of Wendy saying, I wanted to continue in the same vein of Karen inviting everybody. We also find out that Eddie invited the boys and had a mass text too, but it don't look like Ike was on there. So, Eddie ain't really seeing it for Mr. Old Ike. So we then get this scene of NECA. She's at home on the computer with her business partner. We find out that she is interested in creating, or she's currently creating, a sparkling bubbly line, and it's supposed to be sparkling wine because she loved her some good champagne, like the old people used to say. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what? NECA does not bother me as much as she did in the beginning of the season. Like, I'm like slowly warming up to her. Like, very slowly, but she does not bother me as much as she used to. I will say, though, she definitely lied about her daddy when she was like, my daddy's a rich bitch. I was like, girl, first of all, if your daddy was a rich bitch, your house would not be undone. Why are you, like, girl, where is the sinks? You know what I'm saying? Where is your sink in your island? Where is your stove? If your dad had the coinage and the funds that you say he has, then your house would be completely done and you would just be unpacking and putting things in. And then the fact that she had her friends lugging them heavy, I know them chairs was heavy, kitchen table chairs up to a room full of more clutter, it's not making sense, NECA. But we finally get to see Lebe. And Lebe is the one that Mama Susie supposedly cussed out and told her, girl, I got your name on a shrine and all of that stuff. So we then see her friend Cheka. I think it's Chica. Maybe it's Chica, like the rapper Chica. Chica comes in. I don't know, the energy between Lebe and Chica was a little off. It was a little like they was kind of sizing, well, it looked like Lebe was sizing Chica up. But they go upstairs and they're talking. We find out that it seems like the girls aren't happy about Ike doing the whole traveling doctor thing. Because when she was like, yeah, girl, he's still traveling. Like, Chica face, was like, girl, what? Like, she was shocked. So that makes me feel like, girl, what's up? Do y'all not like that Ike be traveling? What's going on with Mr. Ike? So then they talk about going to Wendy's party. and how Wendy's also invited to come to NECA's house, and Wendy is just kind of like, Lebe was like, well, you're gonna be on her turf, you just have to be careful. My thing about it is, you're filming the show, you're always gonna be placed in uncomfortable situations. If you choose to go to the party, go to Happy Eddie, have a good time. And if she comes to your house, I would say the same thing to Wendy. Come to the unpacking party, have a good time, and move on. We then get this scene of Candace at home and her and Chris in their bedroom, and Candace is going over her lines. We know she is on Hush. I think that plays on like All Black and like BET Plus or All True Black. But basically, she's going over her lines for her scripted series because pretty much, girl, I guess they weren't able to film everything because they had to wrap on set by 12, which makes sense because, you know, there's regulations about how long people can film, unions and all that stuff. So she was telling Chris, like, I won't be at the, you know, Happy Eddie party for so long. Are you gonna be okay without me? Especially with you know, Neck and Forehead being there, i.e. Giselle and i.e. Giselle and Ashley. And Chris is like, yeah, I'm good. Like, I haven't seen them since we was in, I was going to say Hollywood, since we were in New York. And, you know, they showed the reunion scene where Chris is, like, going off, like, telling Giselle to, like, explain yourself. And I think that's honestly what really pisses Giselle off, is that man was yelling at her. And on top of that, Candace ate her up. And like, she just wasn't ready for it. I don't, but my thing is, like, I don't get how she thought this wasn't going to go a different, like, how this wasn't gonna be bad. And I don't get how production didn't stop her from doing what she did, or it didn't stop her and be like, are you, like, I don't know if this is the way we should go. And I think that's why it's hard for me to, like, find Giselle palatable anymore, because what she did actually had really dire consequences for her castmates. And I think that's messed up. I'm sorry. Like, and I know some people are like, oh, the show's not that serious. And I try my best not to take the show that seriously, because it's like, I don't know these people, but it's really hard for me not to look at Giselle and even Ashley, once they got to that, the comments they had about Chris at that Happy Eddie party, and not think that they're nothing but losers. It's like really hard. And I legit, when I tell you, I try my best not to take these shows that seriously, because I'm like, at the end of the day, it's meant for entertainment. There's like, you know, it's reality TV, but they do storyboard storylines and things of that nature. But it's just really hard for me not to look at them and not feel as though that they are not walking losers. Like, it's so hard. It's so hard. We get to the Happy Eddie event. We end up meeting Eddie's business partners, Hope and Brian. And honestly, y'all, this party was lame, because don't get me hyped up like we about to go in here and smoke some good, you know, some good weed, and then we over here rolling parsley and oregano. I'd have had an attitude like everybody else. Okay, Karen's face. Karen ended up bringing Matt, you know, her white assistant. He even kind of was like, girl, what? He looked around. I said, yes, Matt, I understand. Because why am I here if we not smoking good weed? And that lady Hope over here talking about, oh, I don't want to intimidate or scare anybody. Girl, they're all consenting adults that agreed to come to a cannabis party. Where the weed at? Like, I'd have been so... But I'm hoping that the care packages that they were gifting everyone had, you know, some pre-rolls up in there and some gummies and some chocolate. Because I'm like, if they could microdose on OC and have a THC party, and Sutton can pull out a blunt at Kyle's house this season, then they definitely could have rolled weed and smoked that and had a good time laughing and giggling. It probably would have lightened the mood. So we see Candace and Chris get there. We know Candace had to leave because she has to go to set to film for Hush. And so Chris is like, okay, I'm cool with staying. Everyone's happy to see Chris. We then end up seeing G and Mia, and they kind of bump into Candace as she's leaving, and she lets them know she's going. Then we end up seeing Ashley, and then Karen pulls up with Matt. So Karen cut straight to the chase to talk to Mia about her text message and how Karen didn't like it. Again, Mia, I'm on Mia's side. Like, Don't invite me to something that you didn't want me to be at in the beginning and then give me do it short notice and then expect me to rearrange my whole entire day in order for me to accommodate you. So I don't understand where Karen's coming from, other than she just wants Mia to kiss her ring because she brought her into this group. So Mia's like, girl, I told you I don't play second fiddle. Karen contradicts herself. And not even contradicts herself. She just proves what Mia said was right. She did contradict herself, because she ends up saying you weren't even first string, you weren't second string, you were backup. And I was like, that's what second string is. It is backup. So she said she didn't want to be your backup. So what are you talking about, Karen? So they're arguing back and forth, and Karen is like, Mia, why you being this way? And then she ends up saying that Mia has a boring life. And then I think that's when Mia tells Karen, old dog, I need you to have new tricks. And that's when Karen calls Mia a trick, and everyone's like, oh my God. And I was like, these reads aren't even hitting the way that y'all are acting like they're hitting. I don't even think it's that deep. I think, like I said, Karen wants Mia to kiss the ring. I think Karen is irritated that Mia has now hitched her wagon to the Green Eyed Bandits, and she was the one that brought Mia into the group. And I think she's just like, how dare you disrespect me? She even said in her confessional, like, girl, you owe me respect because I'm the one that got you here. And so, it is what it is. So then we see Giselle walk in, and Wendy is like, how you gonna come to my party and not say hello? Now, I feel two ways about this. One, I feel like, Wendy, girl, shut up. You don't like her. She don't like you. If I was you, I wouldn't have even invited her to the party. It'd have been like, she don't need to be here. On top of that, every time you've seen Giselle, you haven't said hello to her. But then on the other hand, I'm like, Giselle, you came to the party. You could have just did a customary, hello, everybody, and kept it pushing. The fact that you purposely did that when you know this is her party versus all the other times that production showed us. Wendy didn't say hello to Giselle at Ashley's party. It would have been disrespectful for Wendy to be invited to Giselle's party and not say hello to her. I think that's the only thing that I'm like, okay, I can see where Wendy's coming from. But at the end of the day, neither one of you like each other, so what's the point? So they all sit down. We see Robin pull up, and that's when they tell them, girl, we rolling oregano, and everybody got the stank face. So they're all having a good time, cracking jokes, making fun of each other. We end up seeing I think her name is Kivea. I think it's Kivea. We see her. I think the guy that was with her is either like her boyfriend or her husband. Cute couple. She's having fun rolling, saying like, oh, I'm gonna take this home. This is the best I've ever done. They're all having a fun time. Wendy ends up saying, hey, I just want to say this is the first time in a long time we've all really laughed this much together. Side note, I do like the fact that Eddie and Wendy put Chris at the end of the table and had his back, because this is where I felt like Giselle and Ashley are nothing but losers, because you got Ashley saying that she doesn't want to be nowhere near Chris after what happened last season, saying that she was trying to help, and it was just like, how dare you say you don't want to be near Chris, but you are with a pasty, wet demon of a man who you know is a slime ball, who disrespects you publicly and even privately to your face. And you got the audacity to say you don't want that, like you don't want that Chris near you, but you want that man near you. Yeah, girl, shut up. And then for Giselle to make that comment about Chris possibly gaining weight and it being attributed to stress, and her laughing like because she feels like, ooh, I got him because I'm the sole cause of it. It wasn't a flex to me. Again, it just gave loser energy because it wasn't funny. She was laughing in the confessional, and I was just like, you're just lame. She's just so lame to me, bro. She's so lame to me. I like, she's so mediocre. And it's crazy that I see so many people saying, well, the show isn't good because Giselle's not engaging with the women. But honestly, to me, if Giselle's not there, I feel like the vibe will be so much better. You over here lying, saying that you weren't laughing at the table when Wendy makes a statement saying like, hey, I know we're not all good, but it's been a long time since we all laughed this good. Giselle's in her confessional saying, I haven't laughed. But then they show like back to back scenes of you cackling and kikiing, and it's like, we get it, girl, you don't like her, but don't lie and then they catch you in it. Like, what? It's just like, she's just lame to me. She really is, and I don't see what people find endearing about her, because I just think she's a cornball. So Nneka and Wendy. So Wendy pretty much, the party goes off without a hitch. Everyone's enjoying themselves. You then see Nneka take Wendy to the side and they have a conversation. Nneka then ends up saying, like, thanking Wendy for allowing her to come to the Eddie event. And she was like, I hope we can move forward. I would like to speak to you privately. Wendy is kind of like, okay, I don't know if I can tell you yes to us meeting privately, but I receive, you and me wanting to move forward. Nneka's kind of confused, because she's like, well, you invited me here to the Happy Eddie event. Why are we not, like, I thought that was an olive branch. And mind you, I get where Nneka's coming from, because it's like, if you didn't want to move forward, then why invite me to your husband's event? But I can also see Wendy being like, okay, just because I invited you to the event, like, yeah, I just want us to be like, it was an olive branch, but that doesn't mean I have to, like, extend any further beyond that. But she said, I'm gonna, I gotta think about it, and maybe I'll come to the, what's it called, to Nneka's what is it called? Her unpacking party. So the next scene we have is this cringy dinner date between Mia and Gordon. It is so clear that Mia has checked out, and it was painful to watch. So when they were at the Happy Eddie event, Gordon ended up leaving midway during the event to go take like a conference call. While Mia's still sitting at the table, Robin asks Mia, like, hey girl, how are you doing? I just want to check in on you. And Mia pretty much says, like, we're in a rough patch. Like, I'm all that man has. And it's really hard, because like, I'm tired, and there's like days I want to check out, but what type of person would I be to check out when his family basically left him for dead? So she's just like contemplating her options right now. So while they're at this dinner, not this dinner date, but it was like a lunch date, because their therapist pretty much said that they need to take these lunch dates to reconnect with each other. Mia keeps harping on how they can't have like dinner dates because they don't have a nanny, so they have to take these lunch dates. Like, she is really bothered by the fact that she no longer has a nanny anymore. So pretty much, like I said, Mia is checked out. Gordon tries to be like, like jokey, kind of sexual with her, where he's like, ooh, I'll have the bang, bang broccoli. And the way Mia was like, cut it out, Gordon. She was like, Gordon. Like, it was, the energy was like basically like, boy, we don't even play with each other like that anymore. Like, no, chill. And Gordon was kind of taken aback. He then tried to toast to her, and she wasn't paying him any attention. And it's just kind of like, yeah, Gordon, the only reason Mia found you attractive, even with all that tongue stuff and doing them threesomes, was because you had the funds for her. Like, Mia is a city girl and you ain't got no money, so she about to be out. And pretty much one of Mia's frustrations in their situation is that she feels like Gordon is not acknowledging or taking responsibility on how he contributed to the issues in his family's relationships, which consequently is why they're having issues. She pretty much in the confessional was like, you did something to piss your family off or to make them mad. Then they took away my position. I don't have no money to go like get my nails done, to go out here and live my best life. We no longer can afford a nanny. So now I got to really take care of my own kids. And this is not the life I signed up for. So fix it, Gordon. Pretty much. That's kind of how Mia's feeling. Like, I didn't sign up for this. This is not what we agreed upon. And you're not acknowledging how you messed it up for us. Which I'm just kind of like, did he mess it up or did you mess it up, Mia? I would really like to know why the family kicked him out of the CEO group. Gordon pretty much says like he didn't realize that it was so bad between them until he saw the receipts for the divorce attorney. Like, he was really shocked that Mia wanted to divorce him. And Mia's just kind of like, I wasn't happy. I felt like I was living in a hostile environment. And Gordon did get Mia to clean that mess up real quick. He was like, I ain't never put my hands on you. And she was like, no, you haven't. I say, Gordon told her to clear that up. clear that. And I don't fault him for that. I do not, like, don't be out here trying to paint me like I be beating on you. Don't do that. And Mia was just like, no, it was just that, like, we were in a bad space and we were constantly at each other's throat, so it felt hostile. And I can understand what Mia is talking about. Don't nobody want to come home constantly arguing with somebody, but there was a different way. She could have just said our house life was toxic, but I guess Gordon was like hostile, making him feel like you gonna have these people thinking I'm beating you and I'm not. So they end up switching the conversation to Ashley and that pasty demon husband, Michael. And pretty much G was like, he never believed that Michael and Ashley were getting a divorce, which ding, 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 none of us do, because girl, why is it taking you so long? And he was like, why would she give up her sugar daddy? And I was like, well, does he really be giving Ashley sugar? Because honestly, it's feeling more like Sweet and Low. Counterfeit sugar. Like unreal sugar, okay? So then Mia said, like, what would happen if that would happen to us? And she was like, oh, I would get a settlement. And he was like, no, you wouldn't. And Mia was like, what you mean? And he was like, we would still be together. We would just have an arrangement. And Mia was like, no. Like, and I don't know, this conversation felt disjointed, but what it told me is that Mia really feels confined being with Gordon, and she wants to be out here living her life, because she ended the conversation with, I don't think any money of like any monetary, like I can't put a monetary value on my freedom. And Gordon kind of was looking at her kind of like, what do you mean? So I think the roles are definitely changing. I guess Mia is like, I want to be free. I want to roam the streets and have a good time. But the issue is Mia doesn't have any money of her own. I feel like Mia would definitely hustle and get that money, but I definitely don't see that new man that she with having the money that she wants in order to live the lifestyle that she wants. So maybe she is just in an open relationship and she'll find her way back to Gordon. I don't know. So we're at NECA's unpacking and pajama party. It looked whack. I'm sorry. Like, the food looked good, but it's just like nobody's outfits were cute. And like, I feel like when people say pajama parties, I'm looking for everyone to have like a matching set. You know, the shorts matched the top. And like, some of them had that, but it gave very much like lounge wear, not pajamas, you know? So the vibes weren't vibing for me. We see NECA's sister. And her outfit is what I was talking about. Like, she had a matching pants and shirt set. But we see her. They're both talking about how excited they are for everyone to come. They're hoping Wendy comes. NECA also has her bubbly already. She says, you know, she does things really fast. Which I'm like, yes. And I mean, productivity and a good turnout rate is good. But I don't know if I want something fast that's a food product. Like, we need to worry about how long is the shelf life. Is it going to be at the same price as what is already out there? Does it taste good? Like, I'm the type of person, like, when it comes to like people producing new like food items, it needs to take at least a good year or two before you give it to me, because I need to know, don't have me out here with food poisoning, you know. And so everybody gets to the party. We even see the new girl. She's the one that lets us know that Wendy isn't coming, and everyone was kind of like, that's messed up that she didn't tell NECA. And NECA was like, yeah, the disrespect is real. And I was kind of like, NECA, you've been disrespecting Wendy, so her disrespecting you back isn't that big of a deal. But I am kind of getting tired of this storyline, and I think it kind of sucks. It sucks for Wendy, because I feel like she's damned if she do, damned if she don't. Because of the atmosphere and the environment that Potomac has created, we are so sick of the girls holding on to beefs and not letting them go, that it's just like, Wendy, just accept it and move on. But I did see one of my mutuals say something that's really interesting, where she brought up the fact that how angry people got at Wendy for like accepting Mia's apology after the whole situation in Miami so quickly, like with the water, with the drink throwing and the purse hitting, and then they was looking at each other's coochies. And she was just like, I think Wendy got scarred from everyone going off on her for accepting Mia's apology, that now she's dragging it out. And I was like, maybe that is so, but it could also be the whole cultural thing of like her, NECA calling her mom a witch. A lot of people, a few of my mutuals on Twitter are African, and they were saying how like that is massively disrespectful in the Nigerian community, that you don't come back from that. Like, And it's just like it's like a very big, like, kind of like taboo, like you don't do that to people. So it's really hard. Like, they understand why Wendy isn't trying to accept Nneka's apology, but again, I feel like she's damned if she do, damned if she don't, because we're so sick as a fandom watching these ladies hold on to grudges. So Karen and Mia get into it. Giselle starts it off by asking Karen, are her and Mia good? They start to rehash the whole text message. Again, I'm on Mia's side because Karen's not making sense to me at this point. They then all get up to go get food. You see a group of them huddled together. Candace is standing behind them getting her own food. And she's just kind of like, I don't get it. It ain't that deep. Karen is just like, you know what, Mia? I'm a better friend to you than you ever been to me. And honestly, it seems like a combination of things with Karen and her feelings about Mia. I think she's still mad at Mia for spreading that rumor or telling the ladies that rumor about her getting bust down in a Chili's bathroom. And her being upset about that. And Karen ends up pretty much saying, like, I never told anybody about you out here dating a rapper. And the thing is like, Karen deals in like half truths. Like, she tells part of a story but adds a lie to it. So people are like, oh, Karen always tells the truth. And it's like, she doesn't tell the truth. She tells part of the story and then adds her own spin on it. And she was saying that Mia was out here with a rapper, but then Mia ends up being like, I wasn't out here with a rapper. We were hanging out. It must have been somebody well known because they were bleeping it out and stuff. And Mia ends up saying like, oh, G knew, G was with us, we were all hanging out. And they ended up like deading the conversation, and then they decided to play like Never Have I Ever. I forgot to talk about this last episode, but Robin feels like Karen is obsessed with her because one time they were like talking and Karen wanted to show Robin a picture of her and her a picture of Raven, but like Karen was scrolling and Robin saw a picture of her and her family together in her phone, and that was like the never have I ever question. Now I feel two ways. Yeah, it is kind of creepy that you have a picture of somebody that you're not cool with in your phone, but then the other part of me is like, don't act like we don't take screenshots of our friend's situation. We all take screenshots. Karen messed up by scrolling through her phone so to like show somebody something, but Karen is 60 years old. Honestly, I mean, I don't think it's that deep, but Robin is holding true to the fact that she feels like Karen is obsessed with her, and maybe she is. Is it that big of a deal? Not really. It is what it is. But yeah, y'all, that is how the episode ended. So that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.